Hello, hello, hello. Today we have the wonderful opportunity to talk to Mr. Quinton Dewitt. Mr. Dewitt is the co-founder of Dewitt's personal budget service. He's going to talk to us today about the psychology of budgeting. So hello, Mr. Dewitt. How are you?
I'm doing well this morning. How about yourself?
I'm good. Thank you. So let's just kind of jump right into this. Now, you have talked to me a little bit about that mindset of saving, that mindset of budgeting. Can you discuss that a little bit about what you mean when you state mindset of how we deal with money?
Well, in today's generation, a lot of us don't know how to properly manage our money. And it's because either our parents didn't know or our parents didn't share those details and tips with us. So today we're just trying to figure things out. And a lot of us have figured it out, but a lot of us are still left in the wind trying to figure things out. So I just want people to understand that in order to be better than our parents, where we have to learn the things we need to learn when dealing with money to be better going forward.
Awesome. So when you talk about this and you're talking with a client about the mindset of money, what are some of the things that you say to them?
So the biggest thing that people have to understand about money is understanding your why. And what I mean by that is you have to understand what you want to do with yourself and your family in the future going forward when it comes to money and investments and long-term goals and stuff like that. So if you don't have a clear goal, a clear why, then you're just going to be going through the motions day by day trying to figure things out.
Yes. So that's like, your why might be that by the end of this year, I want to have X amount in the bank for our family for emergencies. Or your why might be, long-term, I want us to be a family of wealth. Or it might even be like, this summer, I want us to be able to take a trip. But knowing what that why is very important. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Like you can't do anything else before you understand why you're doing it. If you don't know why you're doing it, then you have no clear path or a clear goal.
True.
So if you understand your why and then make the plan to get to your why, then you're better suited to get there. But if you're just going through it without a clear path, then you're not gonna succeed at it.
Yes. And I think when you don't know your why, it's a whole lot easier to say, well, I'll just borrow a little bit from this, or I won't invest this much, this month, because you're not clear about what your goal is. So it's a lot easier to neglect it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So when you're working with your clients and you're discussing all of this and you're looking over their finances, what, if any, trend do you see as far as like the biggest challenge people seem to have with money?
The biggest challenge that I see with people with their money is, again, they don't have a clear plan or clear path for their money. A lot of people don't have a tangible in their face budget. So they don't know where their money is going. So whenever I sit down with these people and I show them where their money is going, they're shocked because they had no idea they had that much money going out of their home. Mm-hmm. And then they realize that I'm spending way too much money on stuff I shouldn't be spending money on. And I need to fall back and be more responsible with my money by making a proper budget.
Yes. Because I think about myself and, You might go shopping, say, like even the dollar store, Dollar Tree. Well, now it's $1.25, but you get what I'm saying. But you go in there, you're like, oh, it's only $1 or it's only $2 or, so you spent money there. On the way home, you're like, I'm hungry now. I'm going to stop and get this, even though you have food at home, even, quick serve food at home or, so you keep doing all these little things because individually in their silo, it seems like, oh, this is only $5. This is only $6. Those onlys start to add up. And like you said, when you see it on paper, you're like, whoa, I've spent a lot more than I thought I was spending.
It's funny you say that. I was reading something the other day from this blog from this lady called the Bougie Banker.
Uh-huh.
And she said that one of the things that kills a budget are those it's only $5 purchases. It's only $1 purchase. Well, if you do that every day, that stuff adds up. And then, over a course of 30 days, if it's only $5, you've just spent, close to $150 on it's only $5.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a very good point. Yes. So let's talk a little bit about the investment. Like we talked about several different things, or aspects of budgeting. Like there's looking at your debt, there's looking at where your money's going. But a lot of times, I know even myself, when looking at investments, it can seem so daunting. Like it's like, where do I put my money? What should I put my money in? What do you have any insight on investing? Like what should we do?
So as of today, I'm not a trained financial advisor or trained financial planner. So my advice to people would be to seek out a reputable financial advisor or financial planner that can guide you to make the right decisions for your investments. Mm-hmm. Because there's different things you can do with investments. There's like mutual funds and stocks and real estate, or just things like that. But without a clear path and a clear goal, mm-hmm. you're going to just be out there all willy-nilly just throwing your money away. So get with somebody that's trained that can assist you with what you should do with that money that you are investing.
Okay. And so with your services, what types of things do you help clients with their money?
So with our service at DeWitt's Personal Budget Service, our goal is to give people the tools that they need to properly manage their money. And we also give people a clear plan to pay off their debt. Mm-hmm. In today's society, everybody has some form of debt. So we just give people a guide or a plan to properly pay off their debt. We don't call creditors or write letters to creditors and stuff like that. We just try to sit down with these people and just lay out all of their debt and give them a clear plan to pay it off without hurting themselves month to month.
Okay. And that's good because like you said, you need a plan. In today's society, if you're wanting to get to a place where you can save or invest, if you are in a situation where you have debt, even a small amount, having a plan, having your why is so very important. But when you sit down and try to do it on your own, a lot of times it's like, it can be overwhelming. And, at the same time, you can just think that you're doing just fine. But the same thing with the, just $5 here, just $1 here. When you sit down and you look at everything, you can really see that it's really kind of not in the shape that you want it to be in. So you guys kind of help them see where they are and a way forward to get to their financial goals.
Exactly.
Okay, wonderful. So if you were to give us like 5 important things that we need to know about dealing with our money, what would those things be?
So again, I want to go back to knowing your why. Like if you don't know your why, then trying to deal with your money is pointless because again, you have no clear path, you have no clear goal. So you're not going to stay focused on what you're trying to do because you have no motivation behind it. So the most important thing is knowing your why and keeping that at the forefront of your brain to keep you going forward. And then once you understand your why, make a budget, make a zero-based budget. And what that means is make sure every single brown penny of yours has a job and a place to go. And just focus on yourself and your family. Don't try to keep up with the Joneses. Don't try to live for social media. Don't try to chase clout. Just focus on yourself and your family. Just keep your head down and just keep moving forward. And this process is not easy. There's going to be bumps in the road, but just stay diligent and stay resilient and just, keep yourself and your family prayed up so you can get through this process. Mm-hmm. And last but not least, just seek out help. I mean, there's no shame in seeking out help. Yeah. People seek out help for mental illness. They seek out help for fitness. They seek out help to get their car fixed. Your money is nothing different. If you need the help, seek out the help because there's people out there, such as myself and my wife and other people that are more than willing to assist you with this process because once everybody is on the same page of dealing with their money properly, we can be better going forward as a culture and as these new millennials, as people say, we'll be better going forward.
Yes, absolutely. And, when we talk about building generational wealth and wealth within our communities, this is very important. I think that far too many are still kind of stuck in that mentality of you get your check and you pay the bills and then you kind of stick the rest up under your mattress for a rainy day. But truly learning how to be efficient and effective with your money is so very important. And that's the way that we build that financial freedom, learning how to take that money and make it work for us because we work really hard to get it. But if there's a way to make it work for us, I'm game.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah.
to kind of piggyback on the whole put the money under your mattress mindset, that's something that people did back in the day when they couldn't, per se, trust the bank. Mm-hmm. In a way, you still can't all the way trust the bank with your money if you want your money to grow. So, but however, a bank is a great place to place your money for specific things. Like, for instance, myself and my wife, we have accounts that are specific for our bills. We have an account that's specific for vacations. Mm-hmm. We have an account that's specific for our emergency fund. So we have different accounts for specific reasons. But as far as growing our money, we don't keep that particular money inside of a bank. We reach out to different investment professionals to grow our money properly instead of leaving it inside of a bank. So the way we do it, and everybody's different. We can't really force our mindset on anybody else. But what works for us is anything beyond our bills, paying off debt, and specific savings such as vacations or an emergency fund. Everything else extra goes to investments. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. for our kids or for ourselves and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's smart. So if someone wants to take advantage of the services that you all offer at DeWitt's Personal Budget, what ways do they have to get in touch with you?
The best way is by calling or texting us at 843-481-0302, or you can reach us by email at savemybudget21@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Dewitt, I want to thank you very much for taking time to talk to us today about our money and at least get us thinking about how do we make our money work for us? How do we make our money grow? It's so very important, not, as you alluded to, not only for future generations, but even for us. A lot of times when people get down to retirement, they're living on retirement money. And I've been looking at it, even though it's way off, but it's not as much as you think. And if you want to live a certain way, then you really do need to look at, okay, what do I have now? And how can I exploit this really? How can I make this the most it can be? So it is very important, personally, individually, and as a community, that we really look at our money and how to make it work for us. So I thank you for this very timely conversation.
And I thank you for allowing me to share this knowledge with others. And I hope that they can take something from it.
Yes. Thank you.
Zen'n'ish copyrighted podcast and website represent the opinions of Dr. Lakeisha Hudson, Dr. Kiki Zen'n'ish Incorporated, and or her guests. The content here should not be taken as medical, psychological, or any other advice. The content here is for informational purposes only. Please consult your healthcare professional for any medical, mental, or health concerns. Views and opinions expressed in the podcast and website are Dr. Hudson's and or her guests and do not represent that of their places of work. While we make every effort to ensure that the information we are sharing is accurate, we welcome any comments, suggestions, or correction of errors. All people and places mentioned in the podcast have been changed to protect confidentiality. This podcast or website should not be used in any legal capacity whatsoever. No guarantee is given regarding the accuracy of any statements or opinions made on the podcast or website. In no way does listening, reading, emailing, or interacting on social media with our content establish a doctor-patient relationship. If you find any errors in any of the content of the podcast or blogs, please send an email to 423.4.dr.kiki@gmail.com.